a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. We've got Jason Mears as well on the show today. Florida Best Quote Insurance. He's our insurance expert contributor. We're going to talk about the state legislature in session and what that means, what's going on up there, what some of the bills that they are proposing. And coming up as well, Alex Black Belt Lima in studio with us, as well as Gunnar Branecki, Guardian Home Protection, home security and automation company. They do a great job. If you're thinking about buying a security system, cameras, that we highly recommend Guardian Protection. They are the official sponsor of the Consumer Quarterback Show for all things security and automation. Quick shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill, the official Tampa restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez or General Manager Joey and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They're going to hook you up with a free appetizer. They've got some great appetizers over there. Calamari, the bruschetta is amazing. Their favorite, their most popular and most delicious, in my opinion, salmon fresca is one of the most popular items over there. Monday through Friday, happy hours over at Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall. Right there, just off of West Shore there. Great opportunity. Check them out. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Brio Tuscan Grill, restaurant partner, Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we like to feature our listings on air. It's part of our strategy, maximizing the exposure and the profit for our sellers. We got a property on Yachtsman Drive in Hudson, 7532 Yachtsman Drive in Hudson, Florida. You have waterfront property here, access to the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful property. You've got a screen room, a screened enclosure, glass enclosure on the back. You have a whirlpool, jacuzzi tub there. Updated kitchen, beautiful property here in Tampa Bay, 7532 Yachtsman Drive in Hudson. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1632 square feet. We just did a price improvement, and you are waterfront on a canal that leads out to the Gulf of Mexico. Granite countertops in the kitchen, stainless steel appliances. Beautiful property on Yachtsman Drive in Hudson, Florida. One of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. We also have 5930 River Road, Newport Richey. This is one of my favorite listings. It reminds me of a home that we lived in at one point in LaBelle. It's on the waterfront here, but this one's in Newport Richey, River Road. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath. 2-spot carport, 1-car garage. You have a half an acre of land, and you have 80 feet of frontage on the Cody River. Beautiful property here. Living that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. You got a metal roof, stone construction, cypress wood shingles. You also have a large living room with wood beams. It has a nice ambiance to it. This fireplace with a stone mantle. 5930 River Road, Newport Richey, Florida. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 1964 square feet, half-acre lot, 80 feet of frontage. And bring your boat. Enjoy that Florida lifestyle. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, Jason Mears back in studio. Welcome back in, sir.
Hey, man. I'm always excited to be here.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for coming in, and I appreciate you giving us update on all things insurance. And what are you seeing out there? What's happening out? State legislature's meeting right now as well.
Yeah. The state legislature, I think they've been in session. This is day 15, I think. We've, from my understanding, there have been around 13 bills proposed related in some way to the insurance world. Really, the two I think that I've been made aware of that are the most pertinent would be, or that would affect the most people, is just the consideration to increasing how much coverage citizens will allow for the dwelling. They've always been limited to basically once your dwelling coverage hits $700,000, they don't touch it. That's their limit.
Okay.
So there's a bill that would put that up to $1 million. There's another bill that would put it up to $1.5 million. So that would open up some of the more expensive homes that are not eligible for citizens. That would allow them to get covered. So those are the two main ones I think that could potentially relate to the buyers here. But yeah, I think it's. I think a lot of people are just out there wondering, when are we going to get some relief? You know, and I've always said I think that there's two main things that have to happen. We've got to get some new companies in from out of state, and then the companies that have been here have got to start making money again. The good news is that some companies have been breaking even. We saw some numbers from the third quarter. They're breaking even or in the black a little bit, but there's way too many companies that are still just bleeding money and have been for 5 or 6 years in the state of Florida. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. We're seeing some good things from that, and also some of the strict underwriting guidelines related to house age, roof age. We've seen some companies get a little bit lighter on that. So those are 3 potentially good things that have been happening in the state that we're excited about.
Yeah, we got an update from Representative Bernie Jocks a couple weeks back, and he was mentioning how they're estimating 18 to 24 months generally to see how this is going to play out, and nothing really turns on a dime. It's kind of like turning the Titanic, right?
Exactly.
Or turning a big cruise ship out there. Things don't happen overnight in that, bills can pass overnight, but it's not going to, the effects of that's not going to be seen, in other words,
Exactly.
for 6 months on the shorter end. I mean, up to 18, 24 months or so.
Yeah, and I'm glad he said that, because I think that's what we're hearing as well. That's been kind of depends on how optimistic you are and who you talk to, but somebody will say, yeah, it's going to be at least another year, and some will say, yeah, it's at least another 2 years.
Right.
So it sounds like he's right in that ballpark. But we are, and even that, though, I don't know if we're going to see all of a sudden rates just start plummeting. I think it's more what we want to see is there just be more competition.
Right.
Get some of these new companies that are coming in that can maybe offer some rates that are a little bit lower. A lot of the companies that are already here have, the industry's lost at least between, I think it's $1.2 to $1.7 billion statewide over the last 4 or 5 years, every year. And so those companies have got to start making money again before I think we'll see them start lowering rates. So we could be seeing this as more of a new normal in our area or statewide. But we really just want to see more competition. We want to see more options out there, where my roof, hey, I've got a 16-year-old roof. How many options do I have? Well, as of right now, hardly any.
Right.
And so it'd be nice to see some of those options open up again.
Yeah, if you just joined us, folks, we're talking with Jason Mears, our local expert contributor for all things insurance. We want you reaching out to Florida Best Quote Insurance, Jason Mears, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. You can reach out to the show hotline. Again, any introductions you need, that's what we put this show together for. 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. 3707. And it really makes our day when we get those calls and we have those conversations, text messages even. Hey, can you put me in touch with your criminal defense attorney or your personal injury attorney or mortgage guy? I heard this mortgage guy on the show. Yeah, reach out. That's what we did the show for. That's what makes us different and unique. Now, Jason, we like to talk about ways that people can save money or some insider tips here, legal insider tips, that is. But ideas and ways that people can save money, especially when it comes to insurance. What are some of your thoughts around that, or some consumer advocate ideas? I know sometimes in the policies too, you don't, if there is a storm event or an event, you have a duty to minimize the damage. Preserve the property the best you can, tarping it up. Yeah. What are some of those things that come to mind when we talk about consumer advocacy tips?
A couple things come to mind. First, I think, and this is one of the benefits of our agency, is we just write with more companies than the vast majority of agencies within the state. We have anywhere from 45 to 50 home insurance companies right now, and around 20 flood. I think we're at 13 auto insurance companies. So as a broker or an independent agency, we're authorized to write with more companies. So I always encourage people, whether it's their home insurance, auto insurance, there's never a bad time to reshop your policy, right?
Business insurance too?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's never a bad time to just reshop it. If you feel like, hey, I got my renewal and it's going up $1,000 or it's doubling, which we're seeing with some companies, then reshop it. Right. I think another thing is people will get a new roof and they won't let the home insurance company know, or they won't get a brand new wind mitigation inspection.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's a lot of people that are not getting the roof credits that they should be getting, just based on the fact that their roof was replaced, or maybe it's been a lot of years since they've had one done. A lot of people don't have, there's things they can change, even currently right now. Let's say that your roof's 10 years old, you're not planning on replacing it, but there's one huge credit that you're not getting potentially, because maybe if your house was built in, like, let's say the mid 70s to the mid 90s, there's what's called a CLIPS credit.
Okay.
Some people will. It's basically, how is your roof attached to the outside wall of the home?
Right.
Well, from the mid-'70s to 1995, there was a lot of clips put in or wraps put in to attach that to the outside wall. But the Florida Building Code updated in 1995, and they said you got to have at least 3 nails in each of those clips.
Okay.
So a lot of the roofers and contractors were putting 2 nails in.
Wow.
So what you can do, and this could save people hundreds, maybe even $1,000, $2,000, is get a contractor, get an inspector to come in, go up into your attic and see if they can put that 3rd nail in if you're not getting that roof credit.
There you go.
Or that wind mitigation credit, because it secures the roof more according to Florida Building Code.
Sure.
And if you do that, that'll save you some money on your home insurance.
There you go. There's a smart money tip from Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. Get that 3rd nail into the clips, and that's going to make it that much more of a it's going to take a much more forceful wind to uplift and to pull that roof off in essence. Now, what about home security? If you add a home security system is that something you want to let your insurance agent know about?
Yeah, that's another one. Unfortunately, I think, and I haven't fully understood the reason why, but that has not been the massive discount that you would think it might be. But it is a discount. It's something that people can, but it has to be monitored from outside your home. Okay. It can't be, as of right now, it can't be like a Ring doorbell or anything like that. We don't have home insurance companies that have started recognizing that. But if you've got an outside company that's monitoring the system for you, you can get that they'll send you a letter or basically a piece of paper that just shows you that they're covering that house and what they're covering for, whether they're covering for home. If they're covering it for fire, that's an extra discount. So and then we can turn that into the home insurance company. I mean, some are $30 or $40 a year, and you might get $100 a year, and maybe there's a few companies that go a little bit more than that. It just depends on, are you covering the home for just fire, for smoke, for what is that security system allowing, and monitoring. So
let me ask you this, Jason. So with a lot of our listeners are business owners, or maybe they have a side hustle, and when we talk about the area of business insurance, the artificial intelligence, the technology, the hacking, all of those topics come up because I think there's some cyber policies or even addendums that you can have riders for your business. What can you talk to me about those? Have you seen those in place? And I know, because that can get a little crazy sometimes if you're not monitoring and looking at the different attacks that your system may be vulnerable for.
Yeah. There in the business policies that we write, business owners policies that get written on these commercial policies, there are a lot of, if you want to call them addendums, or there's a lot of additional coverages that you can choose or not choose. And we are seeing companies that have more that are protecting from some of those attacks, just like you would be protected if someone stole, something of your property, stole the desk or stole your personal property.
Right.
Those are things that that are part of claims.
Okay.
So yes, I would say that there have been more and more of those types of things added to policies as they've been necessary.
Yep.
It's kind of like one thing that's become pretty standard on a lot of those policies is protection against identity theft.
Right.
And so we've seen that really grow a lot because that's become a bigger issue. And then with cyber attacks, that's become something that's become a bigger issue. Now, a lot of times things like that can be a separate policy in itself.
Yeah.
And so what we would do and what our commercial agents would do is just see what the best savings is. Should you add it to your policy, or should you write a separate policy? And then we just see what the best savings would be.
The broker model works. I love that. You have the broker model. You're shopping amongst 50, 60 or more, other insurance agencies, companies that you're writing that policy to fit their guidelines. You're placing that homeowner with the best possible fit, saving them the most amount of money, at the same time getting the adequate amount of coverage that you need as well. And all right, taking a quick break, more with Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. And you can see all of our listings and all of our radio and TV show partners at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
I want to give a special thanks to Satellite Phone Store. They just hooked me up with this beautiful satellite phone, and it's a gorgeous phone. It's a great device. It's a safety device as well. Think about it. If you're out on the boat 40, 50 miles out, maybe you're going hunting or you're going hiking in the woods somewhere, you run out of cell phone service, or who knows, maybe a possible terrorist attack. It's not like our politicians aren't entrenched in all this stuff going on overseas, all over the place, all over the world. Could be a terrorist attack. They could attack the power grid. They could attack the cell phones. Who knows what they're going to attack next. Sat123.com/REQB. Sat for satellite, sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance, helping you win in any marketplace, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here for this segment. We got 7300 Southwind Drive. This is a beautiful Pasco County property. I love the neighborhood as well because you're in Sea Pines, the community of Sea Pines. You have access to the Gulf of Mexico via the Community Association boat ramp. This property on Southwind Drive, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1726 square feet. It offers the perfect blend of comfort and luxury in a tranquil setting. It's nestled on a double lot. The property boasts an expansive circular driveway, concrete parking pad, provides ample space for your boat, your RV, your golf cart. You also have a huge pool, 18 by 30 foot pool, surrounded by generous patio, covered with seating, ideal for relaxation, enjoying the Florida sun. Check out 7300 Southwind Drive in Hudson, 3 bedroom, 2 bath property listing of ours. Right there in beautiful Pasco County. Now, we also have another property here on, let's look at 15900 Oakcrest Circle. This one, what I love about this neighborhood as well is that the further north you go, like this one's in Brooksville, you've got large bedrooms, a large lot, oversized lot, large backyard, room to erect a new building back there. We had a buyer ask if he could put a shed back there. Yeah, you can build a shed, pole barn, generous side living area, brick fireplace, sliding glass doors open up to a tranquil patio. You have a luxurious jetted garden tub, hot water heater, newer, and installed sprinkler system, and a generator as well. He's got a really cool generator wired in to the electrical box. 15900 Oakcrest Circle in Brooksville, another one of our hot listings, 60-plus listings with the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. You can see all of our listings at platinumcoastalelite.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, so we're talking with Jason Mears here, Florida Best Quote. Now, Jason, I like to talk about the fact that when I'm meeting with sellers, it's still competitive out there. There's a lot of competition. I lead in with, hey, the fact that I have a daily talk show syndicated on air for 10 years featuring the listings on air, maximizing the exposure. Also a published author. I've written 3 books. I've even put it on Audible as well, taking the extra time. And I teach classes. I'm a real estate coach. And I think that differentiates professionals that are on that level to know the content, know the material well enough to stand in front of a room full of 150, 350 people in some cases and teach classes. And I've seen you do that. So I wanted to bring that up. I mean, you're traveling across the state of Florida, Keller Williams Realty, different organizations, educating people. So you're also a coach in a sense.
Yeah, I am, man, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about that. That's something I'm really passionate about. I love teaching. I love, especially with realtors and new home buyers, people that are wondering what's going on in the insurance world, and to be able to go in and talk with them. So, I'll be teaching a class in Sarasota coming up this week. I'll be in Fort Lauderdale tomorrow. I've done some new home buyer seminars here in the last half of last year. I love going in, and even opportunities like maybe to go into a condo association and talk to that association members about what's going on in the condo insurance industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with that.
There is.
So I love, if my calendar was full of nothing but teaching classes, I would be more than happy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do, is more of an education kind of thing.
Yep.
My position is the VP of Strategic Growth for our company. So I'm trying to grow our company by going, of course, around the state and trying to promote our business and promote our company. But a lot of that is done through just building trust with realtors and with home buyers to say, hey, here's what we offer. And here's what you need to know as a consumer. Here's what you need to know as a realtor to be a better realtor for your clients.
Yeah, right. He's Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Jason, I feel similar to that. Is whenever when you have this knowledge, it's to a point where you feel a moral obligation to give back. And I just love when I have agents in the audience. I teach the class called Win with Sellers, the 7-step seller service cycle, how to win listings, how to promote them properly, etc. And I just love it when I have realtors that are hungry and thirsty for knowledge, and they're asking intelligent questions, you know? And that just really kind of makes my day, in a sense, where you're able to help people, and you kind of feel that it's like, wow, they're into this class, so am I.
Yeah. When they're taking notes, when they're wanting to talk to you after the meeting and kind of get some information on that. Just the fact that some of these people show up, because, you might have a class that, like I'll speak in front of 700 people in March, for a big event. But then I'll speak in front of 40 people this week, or I might have a class with 5 people or 10 home buyers.
Right.
The fact that they're there means that they're interested and that they have a need, right?
Yeah.
That there's something that they're looking for. And I just want to have the opportunity to try to do that. I'm with you, man. That kind of fires me up. So
I love it.
I enjoy it.
Speaking of one of my favorites, too, in terms of coaches, here's a quick clip from Tony Robbins.
But if you know what you want with real clarity and why you want it, now you're on the path. So, for example, someone says, how do I know I'm going to get where I want to be financially? How do I know I'm going to get where I want to be in a relationship or in my business or career? The first step is, what do you want? If you don't know what you want, you're not even on the path. If you know exactly what you want, you get really clear, and you know why you want it, you got enough reasons to push you through. Now the second step is you got to find and face the truth. And that's what has to happen for everybody. Find and face the truth means...
Find and face the truth. So, I love that. Developing that clear vision. It comes into this time of year, everybody's doing these resolutions, and, you're resolving to have a better year or set particular goals. But what does that mean to you when you think about what he's saying there? Set a clear vision, find out what the reason behind it.
Yeah, I think one thing I've come face to face with, and not just from a resolution standpoint, from just a business standpoint, there's certain things that we're best gifted at. Like I know that you and me, we're two people that can stand in front of large crowds, and we can be comfortable with that and teach and get fired up about that. That's kind of our giftedness, That's how God made us. And then there's other people, that's not them at all.
Yeah.
But they're very organized. They're very, when it comes to the nuts and bolts and the accounting and all that, that's not my strength.
Exactly.
Right? Like I am, when I'm speaking in front of people, if I'm teaching people, if I'm in a one-on-one setting, that's where I thrive. So I think one of the things that reminds me of is, if you're going to have a plan, that plan has to include, are you working in your giftedness?
Yeah.
And what are you weakest at, and what can you delegate? Who can you bring alongside you to help you with that?
Absolutely. Focus on the strengths. And Jason Mears, how do you want people to connect with you?
They can email me at jason@floridabestquote.com. They can also call me at 813-385-4441. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram at Florida Insurance Tips.
All right, Florida Insurance Tips. Jason Mears, thanks for coming in.
Hey, glad to be here always.
Coming back, Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness, in studio with me. We're going to talk self-development, personal development, martial arts, and more. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify.